More than 150 people arrested overnight as riots continued in France after last week's police-involved shooting death of a 17-year-old near Paris.
As you can imagine, this has been controversial and it's been very chaotic and dangerous. A number of mayors across France are now calling for people to gather at town halls today in a show of opposition against the violent protests.
And the grandmother of the teenager who was killed pleaded Sunday for those riots to come to an end. They came to a head over the weekend when a protester lit a car on fire, then rammed it into the home of a suburban Paris mayor, injuring both his wife and also his child.
The Associated Press's news director for Western Europe, Angela Charlton, is joining us live now from Paris. Angela, I've got to ask you first, for Americans, we're seeing headlines, but I want to know what it's like there in Paris. 200 suburbs, we're told, have been impacted by these riots. How much damage has been done?
It's a lot of damage, and in fact, the government is still trying to calculate how much has been damaged. And the scene overnight has been calmer than in the previous 5 nights, but the overall situation is still quite tense. There's still a lot of problems that have not been addressed. As you mentioned, this mayor's home that was targeted has become a real flashpoint. And these gatherings actually are happening right now at town halls around the country with people begging for the violence to stop. The grandmother of the victim also did so, and there have been some groups of mothers in some of these low-income neighborhoods that have also called for the violence to stop, because it is mostly hitting those neighborhoods where all of this began.
You mentioned there are other issues that have not been addressed. I don't want to presume what you were thinking there, but in terms of the race element, the religion element, police use of excessive force and immigration, kind of catch us up on all these different cultural aspects of these particular riots.
So these are all elements of what's happening here. So racism in policing, racism in daily life, police violence, and poverty. These are all issues that are at play here. And these are all issues that have been going on in France for a long time, that have occasionally erupt in other situations. And this just really focused everyone's attention on a lot of these issues. What's different here, however, from what we've seen in the US, for example, is there's no movement. There hasn't been, since Nahel's death last week, there hasn't been an organized movement, an organized push to address all of these issues. Instead, the anger manifested itself the way it often does in France, where you have young people in housing projects in particular who lash out at police. The police respond, and both sides are using increasingly aggressive tactics. And then after a couple of nights, looting started. But there haven't been peaceful demonstrations as such saying, we want all these larger issues addressed. I think that's something that will come perhaps later on, but that hasn't been something we're seeing here, and therefore the government is not really addressing those issues head on. They're really focusing on quelling the violence right now and kind of lashing out at the people who are behind the violence.
I mean, the violence is staggering. The fact that people are setting cars on fire and buses on fire is almost nominal compared to the fact that businesses have been burned down. People's places of residence have been threatened, including that mayor in one of those Parisian suburbs. Who is it who is protesting? Is it mostly Arabic, Muslim teenagers? Is it a vast, diverse group of people? Is it young and middle-aged and old?
It's for the most part young. The average age of the thousands of people who've been arrested is 17, which is the same age as the young Nahel who was killed. And in terms of the exact breakdown, we don't know exactly, but we're looking, and there are a lot, again, it's a lot of people from this kind of neighborhood where he grew up, housing projects where the population is majority of immigrant background, notably from a lot of former French colonies in Africa. And it's a lot of young people. The government has stressed that, but we're seeing it as well. And some of it, you're not able to tell exactly why they're doing it, but it's not necessarily a deep-seated societal reason. It's what they're living every day. They have this anger. They see that they're stopped by police far more than their white counterparts, and then they see this horrible, horrible incident filmed live. And then they're reacting to that. They're seeing, this is what can happen in France, and so they're lashing out at that.
Macron calling this unjustifiable violence as that police officer is investigated. He's also blaming social media, as we've seen here in the United States, provoking more of that violence and those acts of just utter chaos. Angela, thank you very much for your time and for joining us.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.